Caution. It is important that you consult a physician and a trainer or coach before you begin. You should have a medical checkup before starting any exercise program.
Hi, I'm Scott Phelps, President of SpeedQuest. Welcome to the strength training workout. I love a weight room because it helps develop the raw material we need to improve performance. Muscle recruitment is critical in increasing athletic ability today. Why do we weight train? We weight train simply to try and increase the power output during performance. The principle is this: you can become a better player by becoming a better athlete. The program we're going to show you is not sport specific. It's a general program to develop athletic ability. Building balance within the body is a principle that we want to maintain during strength training. We want to work both sides of muscle pairs, such as the quads and hamstrings, the abdominals, the lower back, the chest, and the upper back. These all work together to improve athletic performance. I'd like to introduce to you John McBride, a leading expert in strength training today. He's certified by the National Strength and Conditioning Association and is currently an NCAA Division I head strength coach. John, good to have you.
Thank you. I'm here to talk to you today about the myths of strength training. One of the biggest myths in strength training is that it will make you slow. Well, in actuality, quite opposite is true. A more powerful muscle can generate more force to run faster, jump higher. Another myth is excessive muscle bulk. In athletics, it is not possible to have too much muscle that will hinder performance. Another major myth is that weight training or strength training causes injuries, where in fact weight training and strength training is done to prevent injuries.
Flexibility is important when we strength train because we want to maintain the elastic ability of the muscle. When we strength train, we're working muscle tissue. At the end of our strength training program, we want to spend some time on our stretching to try and maintain that elastic ability. By increasing our strength while maintaining our flexibility helps us to generate more power and explosiveness during performance.
In strength training, technique is the most important factor. Proper technique should be taught by a qualified strength and conditioning professional. Always perfect technique before increasing weight. And remember, most importantly, the ego is the #1 cause of injuries in the weight room.
There are several elements we can use to assist us in strength training. Free weights, such as barbells or dumbbells, machines, medicine balls, and body weight. Use any of these devices to help improve your strength, but whatever you do, don't use an excuse.
If you're serious about becoming a better athlete, and you want the benefits of being stronger, being quicker, being faster, being more powerful and explosive, then you need to get into the weight room.
To work our abdominals, we're going to start with sit-ups. Here we're going to go through a full sit-up, extending the body all the way flat and then pulling all the way up till the chest comes close to the thighs. Relax, going back. Start with one set of 15. Add repetitions up to 25. At this point, add a weight plate or medicine ball to increase abdominal strength. A variation for abdominals would be rotationally doing crunches with feet off the ground, trying to twist and put the opposite shoulder to opposite leg. Emphasis here is on just crunching off the ground and returning back flat. Do one set of 25, then add weight to increase abdominal strength. Sprinter crunches. Start with feet and shoulders off the ground. Alternate elbow to opposite knee as you crunch forward. Switch at different cadences so that you work different muscular contractions. Supermans. Keeping the arms and legs as straight as possible, lift them off the ground, contracting with the low back. Hold that position for approximately a 3 count, then relax back to the ground. For added low back development, add a weight or a medicine ball. Alternate Supermans. Here we want to isolate by working opposite arm with opposite leg. Emphasis should not be on pushing against the ground with the limbs that are against the ground, but rather lifting with the low back and controlling movement. To focus specifically on the hip and core area, we're going to do a partner resisted drill. Start first by holding on to the ankle. We want the heel to travel up on a straight line underneath the buttocks, not up high. So we're going to hold low, holding the foot in a dorsiflex position. The athlete on the ground is going to pull with their knee up as I give manual resistance back. We're going to go up until the knee comes as high as the hip, relax, come back down. We're going to start with a series of 5 of these, progressing to sets of 10. First set literally would be 1 set of 5. Second set would be 2 sets of 5 to 3 sets of 5, and then slowly add repetitions until you build up to 3 sets of 10. Next set starts from the up position. The athlete is going to give resistance. They're going to hold back while I pull down to the low position. So she is going to hold back, I pull down, then we relax, come back up to the up position, come back, and again, we start with sets of 5 and build on that. The third is going to start from the low position. She's going to pull up, I'm going to pull down. So she pulls up and I give resistance. Now she holds back and I pull down. Again, we'll do a set of 5. Isolating that core group of muscles. So a workout for a day would be 1 set of 5 pulling up, 1 set of 5 pulling down, and 1 set of 5 both directions.
Proper technique is critical in the power clean. The athlete steps up to the bar so the bar is over the midfoot. He'll squat down, keeping the back straight. The back must be locked and the head up. The athlete will slowly lift the bar. When it gets above the knees, we'll jump, driving the bar up to the shoulders and catching it with the elbows pointing forward. This lift is an explosive lift done not only for strength but also for speed. In the power clean, it's important to catch the bar with a slight flex in the knees, but not completely dropping underneath the bar. The power snatch is a more speed-oriented lift than the power clean. Both are exceptional at developing power in the athletes, as the names imply. Much like the clean, the athlete will address the bar by bringing the balls of his feet or mid-foot underneath the bar. He'll squat down. The hands will be out wide, much wider than the shoulders. The back again is tight with head up. The athlete will lift under control and then jump, driving the bar overhead. It's important to remember that the athlete gets set every time, and also that just because the hands are wide, the feet should not go any wider than in the power clean. It's important to get full hip extension with a maximal jumping motion to get the bar overhead.
Clean, front squat, push press. Here we want to work multiple joints through multiple exercises all at one time. Emphasis is on explosive athleticism throughout each movement. For this exercise, we want to complete 6 repetitions per set. snatch to overhead squat. Here we combine two very specific athletic movements in one lift series. Isolation again on explosiveness, locking in the lower back, getting total body athletic development. Start with linear slams, slamming the ball straight down, getting a good stretch throughout the range of motion of the body. Next, go to figure eights. Same thing, slamming the ball down, but getting some rotational movement with the same action. Chest pass and receive. Here, we want to be in a good stable position with the back flat, up on the ball of the foot. Get the hands ready to receive the pass, react, and explode the ball back to the partner. This is great for transferring strength into explosive, upper body expressive, athletic performance. Overhead. Keeping the ball up over the head when we catch and throw. This is great for development of the core area. Rotational throws. Facing each other, catch the ball and rotate at the trunk, reaching back, and then exploding forward, throwing the ball to your partner. You can vary this by having the partner throw to either side of the body so that it's random stimulus, or you can set the tone by telling them what side to throw to. Right, right, left, left. Next, let's do foot throws. Put the ball between the feet, squeeze the ball, and then throw the ball to the partner using the legs and the abdominals to explode. This is great abdominal work. This will develop a super explosive core. With medicine balls, we always want to work a moderate weight. In this case, we're using a 3-kilogram medicine ball. That's only 6.6 pounds, but it's great for explosive work. Now let's do granny throws. These are maximum expressive throws. Grab the ball, reach back between the legs, and throw it as high as you can up in the air. Give a jump on this. We want to see a lift off the ground and explode using the total body. Never catch the ball in the air when you do this drill. Always let it hit the ground to maximize safety and control. Now let's do granny throws backward. These can be done for height and distance. Same as forward, reach down between the legs and explode up into the air. Give a jump off the ground so we get good push off and explosiveness. Again, always let the ball hit the ground before catching it. That's a good, safe practice. Overhead squat. This is performed specifically for technique. This locks in the back, keeps the chest up, the head up, and allows you to work specifically on perfecting the technique for proper squat lifting. Back squat, with the feet just a little wider than the hips, feet rotated out just slightly, keeping the back locked in and the chest up. Emphasis is on sitting back and down so that the knees don't rotate forward. Head should stay up but not looking toward the ceiling so that we lock the spine in place. Slow and controlled on the down, explosive on the up. These are great exercise for all sports. Front squat. With the elbows out in front, keeping the bar back on the chest. This will isolate the quads and the glutes more for better development for explosive things such as jumping and sprinting. Again, we want to make sure that we lock in the back and sit the hips back so that the knees don't roll forward. Single leg squat. Here we want to isolate again a body limb to make it more dependent upon balancing right side, left side. A lot of times when we do squats, one side will do more work than the other. This will isolate each leg, making sure that we develop equally on both sides. Same technique as we do in a squat rack, we want to try and simulate here in terms of doing just a straight squat off of a box. Start tall, sit the butt down and back, drop down deep, squeeze back up. Use the arms for balance in this case. It's real hard to leave them straight down. We want to drop down so that our hip goes to at least our knee height and then squeeze back up. In some cases, all the way down so that the buttocks touches the heel. For more added resistance, a moderate overload, not a heavy overload to begin with. Simply dumbbells can help to add the resistance. Step-ups. Here we want to focus on the push leg and not the trail leg. This leg we want to keep locked and straight so that we're not pushing off the ground, and our emphasis is going to be on driving and pushing with the leg that's up on the step. Keep the back or the chest up, the back locked in, so that our emphasis is on push and not pushing off the ground, but pushing from the step. sprinter step-ups, we want to focus on the full sprinting action. So we're going to add the arms and drive leg with my right leg now. So we're going to push with the left, drive with the right, so we get a matching exercise to what happens when we sprint on a field, track, gym floor, whatever it may be. Arms match to begin with, and they match throughout the exercise. Lunge walks. Taking a large step forward, drop down till the knee just about touches the ground, and then stand up to a toe raise. Add weight to the arms or on the back for added resistance and development. The feet and the hips, head and chest should fall in a straight line, not wavering from side to side. Lateral lunges. Here our emphasis is on the lateral push coming back to the center. We have a small dumbbell to add an overload. We never want to let the knee pass over the toes forward. We want to sit the hips down and back, keeping the chest up and the back locked in. Angle lunges. Now we're going to take a 45-degree angle forward. Emphasis on hips coming forward and driving back. These can also be done at angles backward, opening the hips. Again, we want to focus on the knee being over the top of the foot and not rolling the knee joint forward. Romanian deadlift. We want to focus on not locking the knees, keeping the feet underneath the hips, locking in the back, lowering the weight slowly, and going ahead and being a little explosive on the upward lift, coming back up. Calf raises. We want a slight drop in elevation so that we stretch the Achilles and the calf a little bit more than normal. Overload it with some weights. Get good extension or plantar flexion. Emphasis on these is not on how far you can drop the heel. We want a slight increase in range of motion, followed by the most important phase, which is the push or extension of the ankle. Then we want to isolate and drop to one limb. We want to focus on real good plantar flexion or extension at push-off doing calf raises. This will overload one leg by having to hold the body weight plus a little extra load at the same time. Reverse calf pull. In this situation, we have a lot of emphasis on push-off and nothing to help develop strength, pulling the toe back up, loading the ankle, which is very important during push-off. After push-off, when we run or move, we load the ankle and get ready for force application. In this case, we're going to use a simple towel, and we're going to pull the toe down, and then our athlete is going to pull the toe back up. This should isolate the front side of the shin and increase the strength in a reverse situation that what we would normally think of strengthening the lower leg. In many cases, this simple drill right here will help in eliminating shin splints. It will also aid in recovery of the ankle during the sprinting phase after push-off, loading and getting ready for the next force to be applied to the ground.
The proper technique in the bench press is to lower the bar right across the chest line and then drive the bar back up over your eyes. Whenever you bench press, any form of bench press, you should have a spotter. Proper spotting technique is to have one hand over the bar, one hand under the bar, and you lift evenly with both hands. Keep your hands close to the bar and prepared to grab it at any moment. You want to lower the bar in control and drive it up explosively. The bent over dumbbell row is used to develop the back muscles. The back should be kept straight, the elbow pulled up along the side, bringing the dumbbell up alongside the body. You should make sure that you train both sides equally. It's a good idea to have the body supported by the bench to take any stress off the lower back. Another great exercise is dumbbell military press. Helps develop the shoulders. Proper technique, make sure the back is tight as you lift the dumbbells up off the floor. Set the dumbbells on your knees and then use your legs to help drive the dumbbells up to shoulder level. And then press straight up over your head, back over your ears. I'm going to bring the dumbbells close together up at the top. In the dumbbell military press, proper spotting is critical. You want to make sure that you spot the wrists and not the elbows.
Lat pull downs. Here we want to isolate the back muscles. Sitting in with good posture, reach up as far as you can and pull down with the bar coming underneath the chin. All of our strength exercises want to emphasize a good full range of motion. Now let's do lat pulls with the hands facing forward. Lean back slightly, pulling down to the chest. Again, we want a good, long reach on the upward motion and squeezing all the way down to the chest.
In arm curls, as in any exercise, you want to make sure you squat down and use your legs to lift the bar. Arm curls is a great exercise to strengthen the bicep. You want to keep the elbows straight down and then curl up towards the chest, keeping the elbows straight down. Overhead tricep press is an excellent exercise to develop tricep strength that's used in a lot of sport movements, such as shooting a basketball or hitting a volleyball. You want to lower the weights in control, keeping the elbows straight up, lowering the arms down behind you, and raising the weights up. Wrist curls are a great exercise to develop forearm strength, grip strength, and to prevent injuries to the elbows and the wrist. Rest the forearms on the legs, lower the weights under control, and roll them all the way up. This can be done either with dumbbells or with a barbell. A variation of the wrist curl is to have the palms down, arms on the forearms, and bring the knuckles up towards the ceiling. Shoulder and rotator cuff injuries are common in athletics. We do a shoulder stabilization series to help prevent rotator cuff injuries. The first one we do is a V raise. The thumbs are pointed down, little fingers up in the air, and you raise the dumbbells in a V motion, just wider than your shoulders. You want to raise the weights in control and lower them down slowly. The next exercise in the shoulder series is horizontal rotation. We want to keep the elbows up so they're a straight line from elbow to elbow and rotate the dumbbells up and over. The athlete wants to continually work on trying to get greater range of motion. Another exercise that's very common is internal and external rotation. The elbows are pointed straight down. You rotate the arm out as far as you comfortably can, and bring it back in towards the midline of the body. Rotate out and back in. This also can be done with surgical tubing. Again, with all dumbbell exercises, you want to make sure that you train both sides. Side lateral raise works the medial deltoid. As you raise the weights, you want to turn thumb down, little finger up. Again, raise the weights with some acceleration and lower the weights in control. Another variation is the bent over lateral raise. This can be done with either the thumb up or the thumb down, which works different muscles. Again, you want to raise the weights in control and lower them down slowly. With all of these exercises, you want to use relatively light weights so the major muscle groups don't do the work and the small muscles involved in the rotator cuff are allowed to do the work. In the dumbbell incline press, you want to start by putting the dumbbells on your knees, lying back to the bench, and then using your legs to get the dumbbells to your shoulders. You're going to bring the dumbbells right alongside your chest and push them back up towards your eyes. Again, the spotter should spot the wrists and not the elbows. Lower the weights in control and drive them up explosively. This exercise can also be done with a barbell on an incline bench. There are various workout examples that you may follow. One of the most common is periodization training. This is where you break down the training into 3 cycles, a base phase where you may do 3 sets of about 8 to 12 repetitions at about 70% of your max. Followed by a strength phase of 4 or 5 sets of about 5 to 8 repetitions, beginning at about 80% of your 1 repetition max. And this would be followed by a power phase where you do 5 sets of 2 to 4 reps at approximately 90% of your max. Another example would be high-intensity training. This is where you would do 1 set to absolute failure at 60 to 70% of your 1 RM. Upper body would fall between 12 and 15 repetitions, and the lower body would generally be in the 20 to 25 repetition range. Circuit training is another example. And this is where you do 1 set of any specified exercise and then immediately move on to a new exercise. Another example would be pyramid training. This is where you'd work from a greater number of reps to a smaller number, then back up for each different exercise.
Flexibility is important when we strength train because we want to maintain the elastic ability of the muscle. When we strength train, we're working muscle tissue. At the end of our strength training program, we want to spend some time on our stretching to try and maintain that elastic ability. By increasing our strength while maintaining our flexibility helps us to generate more power and explosiveness during performance.